Hello. Today is day 5 of meds, and I had my appointment at the clinic, and it again wasn't the greatest news. So it appears that I have 6 follicles on one side and 5 on the other, which is actually 1 extra per side than the first day. However, they're measuring smaller than I guess what they should be right now. I think the I think they were hoping to have 11 millimeters, maybe 11, 10 to 11 millimeters for the largest follicle, and right now my largest follicle I think was 9 millimeters. So if it continues that way, it could be a canceled cycle, which would be pretty devastating for me. But they did the blood work, and it's called estradiol, I think, is what they measure for. I don't actually know, but I know that they measure the estradiol, and it tells them I think something about the follicles. So what I understand is that if you get a good number with that usually your follicles growth should sort of follow suit. So I have that number was in the thousands, is like 1,000 something, which is actually very high. So I should be having my follicles measuring a little bit larger according to that number. So there's a plan in place now that sort of has they've changed up the original plan in hopes that I guess we can get the follicles to sort of catch up, and then we wouldn't have to cancel the cycle. I had asked them if they knew why, or if they had a reason for why my follicles wouldn't be growing sort of at the pace they should be, because any cycle that I've had monitored before has gone really well, and has been really healthy and growing according to schedule. And obviously we haven't been trying to stimulate so many, but I've never had a problem with the growth. So I've asked them, what could trigger that, and so the first thing she said was that I would be upset with the result, probably, because it could very well be the fact that I had to take birth control. I've been very vocal about not wanting to take the birth control, about it not responding well to my body. So I was feeling very angry today, that I didn't kind of stand up for myself in the situation, and I kind of put my foot down and say, like, I'm not taking it. I don't want to. I'm just kind of disappointed that I didn't really put my foot down there and follow what I believe in, and really listen to my body. I know myself very well, and I know that I don't respond well to it. So I'm kind of hoping, or I kind of wish that I would have just not taken the birth control and see how the cycle would have progressed. I kind of find it funny that the first time I've taken birth control in like 20 years, and it's the only cycle where the follicles aren't as many, and now they're not growing at the right pace. So she said that what birth control can do is like really shut everything down, and then when you're trying to sort of get things going again, it can just take extra time and just be a bit slow to go. So obviously that's what I'm hoping is the issue here, because then maybe things will catch up and then we'll progress and everything will sort of keep going as planned. So the original plan was, I guess, so the second original plan was that I would take 150 milliliters, I guess that's what you call them, or and I'm not really sure what the measurements are, but it's 150 of Luveris and 250 of Gonal-F. Now, what's happening is I'm continuing with the 250 Gonal-F, but they're reducing Luveris to 75, which was the first original plan. And on top of that, I now have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to give myself this injection, which is orgalutron. I can't really say that name very well. So I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably not going to film like a how-to video on that one. Unless people want to see me, with my teeth not brushed and my hair all crazy. But yeah, I'll probably not film that. So I guess what the orgalutrin does is it prevents me from actually ovulating, because my estradiol levels are so like creeping up high. It's sort of they have to be careful about it, I guess, because I could just ovulate and then it would be a completely wasted cycle. So that's what I'll be doing now is Luveris and Gonal-F at night. They reduce the Luveris, and how I'm taking orgalutrin in the morning. My biggest like emotions in all of this right now is that I have to brace for a canceled cycle, and you only get 2 shots at this. So if they cancel this one, I have to depend on the next one to be good. And it's hard to stay positive, and it's hard to think that everything's going to work out when it feels like everything just is always working against me with this. And I just find it funny that this is we're now in IVF, and this is the first cycle where I'm having problems with a growth and the amounts when I've never had that problem before. I'm getting a lot from the people around me thinking that it's like a big money grab, because I am having to buy all these like we just had to spend $5,000 on these medications for this cycle, and if it's canceled and we have to do it over again, it's going to be another few $1,000s, if not it wouldn't be 5,000, because some of the medications I won't even be using, so I would save. But Gonal-F, like each pen is over $1,000, and I'm using those right now. So it's hard when I'm trying to manage my emotions around this, and then I have to deal with other people feeling like it's a money grab and whatever. And so I'm trying to keep those thoughts out of my head, because I don't want to start stressing about other things when it's already stressful enough. Um, yeah, it's I don't I don't even really know anymore. A lot of the time it crosses my mind, maybe it's not meant to happen. Maybe we're fighting, God's will, God's wishes. Maybe we're constantly fighting that. Um, I don't I don't know. I try to push those kind of emotions aside because it's not staying positive. It's not really helping anybody. It's not doing myself any favor. It's not doing myself any favors to stress about stuff like that. So, but those are obviously emotions that you feel, and those are obviously emotions that go through your mind all the time. Today I was feeling kind of, it's like pain, but it's like pressure pain on my right side. It almost feels like it goes like into the kidneys and down the leg a little bit, which is really weird. I I suspect it's probably my ovaries growing or sorry, my follicles growing at a rapid pace. Um, and they obviously have to watch for overstimulation or hyperstimulation, because that could be a really bad situation, and then we'd be waiting a really long time to do another cycle. So yeah, I don't I don't know what to think right now. It's kind of like a day by day. Nothing's been really positive so far. Everything's kind of like up in the air, and they're not. Everything has to be monitored, and we're not really sure about anything. Nothing looks good. Nothing's like a sure kind of, yeah, you're growing. Everything's good and everything's positive. It's always like some sort of bad news wrapped up in a happy smile. But yeah, so I have an appointment. I have to go to another appointment on Wednesday. They'll do blood work and ultrasound and see how the growth is coming along. And basically, if it hasn't caught up and it's not on pace, they'll probably cancel the cycle. I'm trying not to go there in my mind right now because, I still have to go to work. I still have to function, and I don't really want to be like an emotional mess every day, all the time. So I'm just trying to stay positive and think that maybe, maybe the birth controls would just played a factor in it, and I'm running a little, and my body's having a little hard time catching up. Obviously, I'll know more on Wednesday. But for now, that is the update I have. I wish that I had something positive to say. I wish that there was, something to kind of go on and something to hope for. But so far, I'm not really getting that kind of news. So yeah, today, bit of a hard day. But again, it's not good news, but they're also not giving me bad news. So it's just kind of no news. It's just kind of blah. Yeah, that's my update for Monday, day 5, and hopefully I'll have a better one on Wednesday. All right, I'll talk to you then. Bye.